Today's job in the shed, the Datsun shed, is meant to be fixing the lawnmower because the lawns are getting longer and the mower doesn't run. But this is more important. Got to do hub bearings on this so I can take it out next weekend. Big job. Alright, good news. This one just had a loose nut. So that bearing's okay. The other front one was okay anyway, I think. And that makes sense because I've had that off a few times. I broke a CV. That one's got no movement in it. Which is interesting. That means it's the back ones that the bearings are still buggered or something's buggered. So I just have to try and determine exactly where that movement is. Now the movement's between that and that, which means it is the hub. Spewing right out. I'll have a play. So that might be hub bearing, and this one will be hub bearing as well, I think. Yeah, oh well. Oh, it's good if it's only the back ones, I suppose. These are a bugger though. Getting all these lined up is just a nightmare. If you had adjustable ones, it'll be good, but I haven't, so I've got to knock some up one day. Well, I don't think I've had these off before. So that is, it's only got 100 hours on it. That was that tight. That didn't get it, 3/4, the big gun, or the little one. So yeah, there you go. That was FT. There's 3 bolts to hold those arms. Extra support under this because it gets a bit wobbly on that. There must be movement in this bearing. I'll whip it out and have a look. Here we go. Come to Papa. The fact that was hard to press out is really good because if the hubs flog out, they're quite expensive, whereas bearings aren't too bad. Yeah, you can see the movement in that bearing. Not ideal. Hey. I just raced up to the bearing shop. They had these at the local bearing shop, so no part number, no brand. That slightly worries me. DAC 39680737. Anyway, I know I've got 100 hours out of the other one, so I'll see how I go with these ones. It's not really level, is it? There we go. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Stopped. Oh, perfect. Yep. Blow the circular groove. Wouldn't go. Oh, and I've got a stopper behind it, so you're not going to break that lip off or anything. So as long as your stopper's right up against where the bearing's been pushed down, shouldn't really break anything. Should click in there, I need to. No, I just had to really give that some curry to get it down all the way home. Wow, a lot of curry just so I can get the circlip in. Anyway, that's where it's got to be. I double checked in all the measurements. The bearings are right, so it should be right. Oh no, this one came off altogether, which was a bit of a bugger. But oh, I was able to get a lever in there. Ugh. 2 levers in under there, 2 of these big pry bars, 1 either side, so it's nice and even. If you get 1 either side and it just managed to come off. Yeah, so it was actually just the bearing stuck on the collar of the disc brake hub. But anyway, but have a look at this. That's the inner race of the bearing. So, wow, that's what's left of the bearing. Wow. That's munted. Pity they haven't got a grease nipple on the outside that can get in and grease. They're a sealed bearing, like they're actually a sealed bearing. So if you can see, they've got these are rubber seals. The original ones are steel shields. Wherever the original bearing is, around here somewhere. They're steel shields, but these ones are rubber shields. But anyway, yeah, so muck's just got in there. Now I find rubber shields actually, I have to see how they go with heat and everything, but rubber shields generally, I'll see how they go, I'll keep a good eye on them. But rubber shields will seal better and seal shit out. The steel shields let a bit of moisture through. So we'll have to see how we go, hey? That's just full of mud. Wow. I'm probably going to have to split that with a grinder somehow. Or a die grinder or something. Somehow, or heat that up to try and get it off. That might be a bugger. Because I can't, oh, I might be able to just get pullers under it. Might be able to just get pullers under it, sit something over that and pull it off. See how we go. That's not meant to be that tight a fit. I say the other one just slid on. Anyway, we'll try and get this one apart and have a look. Righto, this is a broken bearing. I've just, we've got a bit of a gap there, so I've just driven a couple of wedges into it, or big screwdrivers. And I've just got a puller on there, so I'm just hoping that comes off. Otherwise I can get a big blade in there and just slice the edge of it off. And just split it. See how we go. Yeah, it just rusts on there. Oh well, might be another place for some anti-seize. Got to clean all this crap out because when you push a new bearing in, it only just goes in hard up against that for the circlip to go in there. So you can't have any crap in there. So I just found out last one. And don't be tempted to clean this up with anything apart from Scotch-Brite because you want that to be a real interference fit with the bearing. You don't want that to start spinning or it'll bugger your hub.
Just set that one, and then we got a little bit up, and same thing, figured out, well, what's this one since we made the other one, and then we kind of got all wrapped up in the wheel, and I ended up just sending it up that. So.
Righto, second one's back on. Now, something to note, it just makes it easy when I do it. When I'm pulling apart, for example, I take that bolt out of there. And as you take it out, you follow it through with a screwdriver. And then when you pop that out, the hub out, you just put the bolt back in either from either end or wherever, or just leave the screwdriver in there. So all these stay in position. Just means that, especially with your weight on there, this doesn't move around too much. So same thing. I think that one you'll have nothing to put a bolt through. That's okay because the hub's gone. But that one you have, so you can put a bolt back through there. And then because you're putting it in the other way, you just use the bolt you put out of there to put in there, if you know what I mean, as you punch it out. And then when you put that one back in, you go through and you just literally follow the bolt through. And as you follow the bolt through, it just like knocks the bolt, you know, the spare bolt out. And that one goes in the hole. And I cover them in anti-seize. Bit of anti-seize on the spline too. None on the nut because I don't really want that to come undone. So I leave that without anti-seize. And there you go. Anyway, just my version. 30mm I think that is. Another socket you need to take with you. What you do right at the end of the job is all the tools that I've used, I just take a picture of or just have a look at and make sure they are tools that I take with me when I go away in the Canam. Not necessarily in the Canam, that bag there goes in the Canam, but just tools that you'll have in your truck in case you do need to do something stupid like take a hub off to replace bent arms or any of that sort of stuff. So if you leave all the tools on the floor afterwards, have a quick check. 30mm is obviously a good start socket and a big breaker bar, because these are FT. So this machine only had 100 hours on it and the wheel bearings were dodgy, but as you can see, just general use, there's heaps of load on the bearings, especially if those sealed ones let a bit of moisture and gunk through. So I've tried the rubber sealed one, but either way, it's worth buying the bearings or just rip them off and re-grease them every now and again. You don't have to push the bearing out, you can do it in the hub still. They're available at the regreasing tools.